Ever feel like you're walking on eggshells? Like no matter what you do, it's wrong? Or maybe you've been told you're too sensitive when you try to express your feelings. You're not alone. Manipulation is a subtle art, and it can happen in any relationship. Family, friends, romantic partners, even at work. Think about this. Someone showers you with compliments and gifts early on, making you feel like you found the one, love bombing. Or maybe they twist your words and make you question your own sanity, gaslighting. Or perhaps they make you feel guilty for wanting to spend time with your friends, guilt tripping. These are just a few examples of the many ways people can manipulate others. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and expose 50 common manipulation tactics. From subtle jabs to outright threats, we'll break down how these tactics work, why they're effective, and most importantly, how to recognize them so you can protect yourself. Stay tuned, because this information could change your life. Before we go any further, comment any technique you know. Let's dive in. Number 1, foot in the door technique. Picture this. You're at a community event, and a friendly volunteer asks if you'd be willing to sign a petition supporting a local park cleanup. It seems harmless enough, so you agree. A week later, the same volunteer calls. Hi, remember you signed our petition? We're organizing a small group to pick up trash in the park for just an hour this Saturday. Could you join us? Okay, an hour isn't too bad, so you tentatively agree. Then, as Saturday approaches, they call again. Great. We're actually starting a bit earlier and could really use help setting up. And after the cleanup, we're having a potluck. Could you bring a dish? Suddenly, that 1 hour commitment has ballooned into a whole day affair. This is the foot in the door technique. They got their foot in the door with the small request, signing the petition, and gradually escalated to larger demands. The next time someone tries this, be aware of the escalating requests. If you're not comfortable with the final ask, it's perfectly okay to say, actually, the initial 1 hour commitment is all I can manage. Thanks for understanding. Number 2, door in the face technique. MHHM. Your friend asks, hey, could you watch my kids for the whole weekend? I'm going on a last-minute trip. Whoa, a whole weekend. That's a huge ask. You politely decline. Then your friend says, okay, no problem. How about just for a few hours on Saturday afternoon? I just need to run some errands. A few hours is much more manageable, so you agree. This is the door in the face technique. They started with a large request, the whole weekend, knowing you'd likely refuse, then followed up with a smaller, more reasonable request, a few hours, which now seems much easier in comparison. The next time someone pulls this, realize they're manipulating you. If you weren't comfortable with the initial large request, don't feel pressure to agree to the smaller one, just because it seems less daunting. You can say, thanks for asking, but I'm not available this weekend. Number 3, lowballing. Picture this. You find a great deal on a used car online. The price seems perfect, and you agree to buy it. You even put down a deposit. Then, when you go to pick up the car, the seller says, oh, I'm so sorry. I actually had a lot of interest in the car, and I realized I'm selling it for way too little. I need to increase the price by $2,000. Or maybe they say, the tires aren't as good as I thought, so I had to replace them, which is going to add to the cost. This is lowballing. They lured you in with an attractive deal, and then changed the terms after you're already committed. The next time someone tries this, don't fall for it. You can say, our agreement was for the original price. If that's no longer the case, I'm no longer interested in the purchase. Don't be afraid to walk away from a deal that's been changed after you've committed. If you found this video amazing so far, and trust me, it's about to get even more eye-opening, smash that like button. It lets YouTube know this is content worth sharing, and then stick around because we're just scratching the surface of manipulative behavior. Number 4, baiting. So, you just try to enjoy your coffee, minding your own business, and someone throws out a little zinger, something like, wow, you're really passionate about that stapler, huh? Said with a smirk, of course. They're not actually interested in your stapler enthusiasm. They're trying to get a rise out of you. They want you to react defensively, maybe get a little flustered, so they can then label you as overly sensitive or dramatic. They provoke a reaction to use it against you. The next time someone tries this, resist the urge to take the bait. A simple, is there something you actually wanted to discuss? Or a complete lack of reaction can deflate their manipulative balloon. Don't give them the satisfaction of a reaction they can twist. Number 5, exploiting weaknesses. Okay, so you're a bit insecure about public speaking. Someone who knows this decides to help you by volunteering you to give a presentation in front of a huge crowd. Oh, I thought this would be a great opportunity for you to overcome your fear. Yeah, their opportunity to see you squirm. That's exploiting weaknesses. They identify your vulnerabilities and use them against you, often disguised as help. The next time someone tries to exploit your weaknesses, don't be afraid to say no. Thanks, but I'm not comfortable with that. I'll work on my public speaking in my own way. Thank you very much. Or simply, no, you don't have to explain yourself to someone who's trying to take advantage of your vulnerabilities. Number 6, false choice/limited options. You're there, and your bro says to you, "So, are you going to do the dishes now? Or in the morning?" Hold on a second. Those aren't your only 2 options. They're trying to box you in, making you think you only have 2 choices, both of which benefit them. It's the false choice or limited options maneuver. They're trying to control the narrative. The next time you're presented with this kind of ultimatum, challenge it. Say, "Actually, I see several other options here. Let's talk about those instead." Or even better, neither. How about we look for solutions that work for everyone? Don't let them dictate your choices. Number 7, information overload. So, you're on a date and you ask, "What do you do for a living?" Instead of a concise answer, they launch into a 10-minute monologue about the intricate workings of their company, the nuances of their specific department, the history of their industry, the projected growth of their sector, and the philosophical implications of their career choice. They mention acronyms you don't understand, jargon you've never heard, and the complex interpersonal dynamics of their workplace. By the time they finally get around to what they actually do, you've already glazed over and forgotten your original question. That's information overload. They've drowned you in unnecessary details, hoping to impress you. But instead, they've just confused you and made it hard to follow. The next time someone does this, you could politely interrupt. Say something like, "That sounds fascinating, but could you give me the short version of what you actually do day to day?" Or, "I'm a little lost in all the details. Could you explain it in simpler terms?" Number 8, constant criticism. Imagine this. You make a delicious dinner, and instead of a thank you, you get, "Well, it's good, but it could have used a bit more salt," or "The presentation is a little off." Or, "Maybe it's your outfit. That shirt makes you look tired." It's never a compliment without a but. That's constant criticism. They chip away at your self-esteem with a steady stream of negativity. The goal is to make you doubt yourself and become more dependent on their approval. The next time someone serves up a backhanded compliment, call them out. Say, "I appreciate the feedback, but it sounds like you're focusing more on the negatives than the positives." Or, "I'm happy with my outfit. I don't need your constant critique." Number 9, isolation. Let's say you start dating someone, and slowly but surely, they start making little comments about your friends. "Oh, he's always so dramatic," or "He seems a bit unreliable." Then they start suggesting you spend less time with them. "Why don't we just have a quiet night instead of going out with your friends?" Before you know it, you're only seeing them. That's isolation. They systematically cut you off from your support network, making you more dependent on them. The next time someone tries to isolate you, recognize the warning signs. Your friends and family are important. Don't let anyone dictate who you can and can't see. Say, "My friends are important to me, and I'm not going to give them up." Number 10, scarcity tactic. All right, let's say you're browsing online and see an item you kind of like. Suddenly, a pop-up screams, "Only 3 left in stock. Don't miss out. Order now before it's too late." Oh, the pressure. They want you to panic and buy impulsively before you have a chance to really think about it. It's the scarcity tactic in action, creating a false sense of urgency so you'll make a quick decision. Don't let them rush you. Take a breath. Ask yourself, do I really need this right now? If the answer is no, close the window. If it sells out, well, there will always be other computers or whatever it is. Now that you're starting to see how these tactics can play out, hit that like button if you've ever experienced something similar. It helps others find this crucial information. Number 11, threats, overt or covert. So, you're disagreeing with someone and they say, "Well, it would be a shame if something happened to your project," or, "I have a lot of influence around here." That's a covert threat. They're not directly saying they'll sabotage your work, but they're strongly implying it. Or maybe it's more direct. "If you don't do what I say, you'll regret it." That's an overt threat. Either way, the goal is the same, to intimidate you into compliance. The next time someone uses threats, call them out. Say, "That sounds like a threat, and I don't respond well to threats," or, "Are you trying to intimidate me?" Because it's not going to work. Document these instances if possible. Number 12, you owe me game. Last month, you spotted a friend $100 when they were a little short on rent, and they gratefully repaid you as promised. Now, they're asking you to co-sign a $5,000 loan for their new business venture. You're happy for them, but co-signing such a large loan is a huge financial risk. When you express your concerns, they say, "Come on, you owe me. Remember the $100? This is the you owe me game." They're trying to leverage a small, repaid kindness into a massive financial obligation. Helping someone with $100 doesn't obligate you to co-sign a $5,000 loan. It's about setting boundaries and protecting yourself. Kindness shouldn't be used as a tool for manipulation, and no is a complete sentence. The next time someone plays this card, don't fall for it. Say, "I appreciate you repaying the $100, but that doesn't obligate me to co-sign a $5,000 loan." Or, helping someone out of the goodness of your heart shouldn't be used as a bargaining chip for unrelated and significantly larger favors. You're not a vending machine dispensing financial favors based on past kindnesses. Number 13, black and white thinking. All right, let's say someone tells you, "You're either with me or against me." That's black and white thinking. They present only two extreme options, ignoring the vast gray area in between. It's a manipulative tactic used to pressure you into choosing a side, even if neither option truly reflects your views. The next time someone tries this, challenge their limited thinking. Say, "I don't believe things are that simple. There are other possibilities here." Or, "I'm not with you or against you. I have my own perspective." Refuse to be forced into their either/or framework. Number 14, authority fallacy. So, someone says, "Well, I'm the boss, so you have to do it this way," or "I have a PhD, so I know what I'm talking about." They're using the authority fallacy. They claim expertise or authority to shut down discussion and demand compliance, even if their expertise is irrelevant to the situation. The next time someone tries this, question their authority. Say, "That may be your title, but it doesn't make you an expert on this particular issue," or "Just because you have a PhD doesn't mean you're right about everything." Don't blindly accept someone's claims of authority. Look at the actual evidence and arguments. Number 15, reluctant hero. Let's say a co-worker reluctantly volunteers to take on a difficult project, sighing and saying, "Oh, I guess I'll do it. Everyone else is so busy, and someone has to step up." They're playing the reluctant hero. They want the praise and recognition for their selflessness, even if they secretly enjoy the attention and control the project gives them. The next time someone pulls this act, temper your applause. A simple, "Thanks for taking it on," is sufficient. Don't overdo the praise, which is exactly what they're fishing for. Number 16, euphemism mask. So, instead of saying, "I lied to your face," someone says, "I had to adjust my narrative." Or instead of admitting they messed up, they say, "It was a learning experience." That's the euphemism mask. They use softer, gentler language to downplay their bad behavior and make it seem less serious. The next time someone tries to sugarcoat something, call them out on it. Say, "Let's be honest, that wasn't adjusting the narrative. It was lying," or "A learning experience doesn't excuse the harm caused." Don't let them hide behind euphemisms. Number 17, groupthink pressure. Imagine this. You're in a meeting and everyone seems to agree on a particular course of action, even though you have serious doubts. Someone says, "Come on, everyone else thinks it's a good idea. Don't be the only one who disagrees." That's groupthink pressure. They try to silence your dissent by implying that you're the odd one out. The next time someone uses this tactic, don't be afraid to voice your concerns. Say, "Just because everyone else agrees doesn't make it right. I have some reservations, and I'd like to discuss them. Your perspective is valuable, even if it differs from the majority." Number 18, false urgency. All right, let's say a salesperson tells you, "This offer is only good for the next hour. You have to decide right now." They're creating false urgency. They want you to make a quick decision without thinking it through, because rushed decisions often benefit the seller, not the buyer. The next time someone tries to pressure you with a limited time offer, take a step back. Say, "I appreciate the offer, but I need some time to consider it. If it's still available later, great. If not, that's okay too." Don't let them rush you into a decision you might regret. Number 19, triangulation trap. Imagine this. Someone is upset with you, but instead of talking to you directly, they go to a mutual friend and complain about you, hoping that friend will then come to you and pressure you to apologize. Or maybe they try to create a rift between you and another person by spreading rumors or misinformation. That's the triangulation trap. They bring a third party into the situation to create drama, division, or to manipulate you indirectly. The next time someone tries to triangulate, try to avoid getting involved. If a friend tells you someone else is upset with you, suggest they talk to you directly. Say, "I'd rather hear their concerns from them directly." It's better to avoid misunderstandings. Number 20, hot potato. So, Someone comes to you with a problem that's clearly theirs to deal with, and tries to dump it on your lap. Oh my gosh, I have this huge deadline and I'm totally overwhelmed. Could you possibly take over this part of it for me? It would really save me. They're playing hot potato. They're trying to offload their responsibilities onto you. The next time someone tries to pass the hot potato, be assertive. Say, I understand you're stressed, but this is your responsibility. I have my own work to focus on, or I'm not able to take on any more projects right now. Don't let their lack of planning become your emergency. Emotional manipulation. Enjoying this? Smash like, subscribe, and comment what you have so far learned. Number 21. Playing dumb/feigning ignorance. Imagine this. You ask someone a direct question, and they respond with a blank stare and say, Huh, what do you mean? I don't understand. They're not actually confused. They're playing dumb. They're feigning ignorance to avoid answering the question or taking responsibility for something. The next time someone pulls this act, be direct. Rephrase your question clearly and simply. If they continue to play dumb, say, I know you understand. I need a straight answer. Don't let them off the hook with their feigned ignorance. Number 22. Gaslighting. Let's say you bring up a legitimate concern with someone, and they respond with something like, you're imagining things. That never happened. Or, you're just being paranoid. You always overreact. They're gaslighting you. They're distorting or denying reality to make you doubt your own perceptions and sanity. The next time someone tries to gaslight you, hold on to your reality. Say, I know what I saw or heard or experienced. I'm not imagining things, or I trust my own judgment, and I'm not going to let you tell me I'm wrong about my own feelings. Documenting events can be helpful if you suspect gaslighting. Number 23. Love bombing. Imagine this. You start dating someone new, and suddenly, they're showering you with compliments, gifts, and declarations of love within the first few weeks. They're constantly texting you, telling you how amazing you are, and making grand promises about the future. It seems too good to be true, and it probably is. This is love bombing. They're overwhelming you with affection and attention to create dependency and manipulate you. The next time someone comes on too strong too quickly, be cautious. It's okay to set boundaries. Say, I appreciate the compliments, but I like to take things slow, or I'm not comfortable with such intense declarations so early in a relationship. Healthy relationships develop gradually, not with a sudden explosion of affection. Number 24. Guilt tripping. So, you tell someone you can't do something for them, and they respond with, fine, I guess I'll just have to do it myself. I'm used to being disappointed, or it's okay. I understand you don't care. They're guilt tripping you. They're trying to make you feel guilty so you'll do what they want. The next time someone tries to guilt trip you, don't take the bait. Say, I'm sorry I can't help this time, but I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Or, I understand you're disappointed, but I have my own priorities. You're not responsible for other people's emotions. Number 25. Emotional blackmail. Imagine this. You tell someone you're going to spend time with your friends, and they say, if you go out with them, I'm going to be really upset, and you know how I get when I'm upset. Or maybe they say, if you don't do this for me, I'll never forgive you. That's emotional blackmail. They're using threats to harm your emotions or well-being to control your behavior. The next time someone tries this, call them out. Say, that sounds like emotional blackmail, and I don't respond well to that. Or don't try to manipulate me with threats. I'll make my own decisions. Number 26. Playing the victim. So, someone makes a mistake, and instead of taking responsibility, they start talking about how unlucky they are, how everything always goes wrong for them, and how everyone is out to get them. They're playing the victim. They're trying to gain sympathy and manipulate you into feeling sorry for them, so they can avoid accountability. The next time someone pulls this act, be empathetic but firm. Say, I understand you're feeling down, but everyone makes mistakes. It's important to take responsibility for our actions, or I feel for you, but that doesn't excuse the behavior. Don't let their victimhood become a shield for their actions. Number 27. Blame shifting. Let's say something goes wrong, and instead of admitting their role in it, someone says, it's your fault. If you hadn't done X, then Y wouldn't have happened. Or, you made me do it. They're shifting the blame. They're deflecting responsibility by blaming others. The next time someone tries to shift the blame, don't accept it. Say, I'm not responsible for your actions. Or, even if I had done X differently, you still made the choice to do Y. Take responsibility for your own actions, but don't carry the weight of someone else's blame. Number 28. Minimizing. Imagine this. You tell someone you're feeling hurt by something they said, and they reply with, "Oh, you're just being too sensitive," or "Don't worry about it." It's not a big deal. They're minimizing your feelings. They're downplaying the significance of your emotions and experiences, making you feel like you're overreacting. The next time someone tries to minimize your feelings, validate them yourself. Say, "My feelings are valid, and I have a right to feel this way." Or, "Just because you don't think it's a big deal doesn't mean it's not a big deal to me." Your emotions matter, and no one has the right to tell you how you should feel. Number 29. Projection. Imagine this. Someone is constantly criticizing you for being disorganized, even though their own desk is a complete disaster. Or they accuse you of being unfaithful when they are the one having an affair. That's projection. They're attributing their own negative qualities or behaviors to you as a way to deflect attention from themselves and avoid taking responsibility. The next time someone projects onto you, don't accept it. Say, "That sounds like something you might be struggling with," or "I'm not the one who's disorganized/unfaithful here." Turn the mirror back on them. Number 30. Name-calling and insults. So, you have a disagreement with someone, and instead of engaging in a respectful discussion, they resort to calling you names. "You're so stupid," or "You're such a jerk." That's name-calling and insults. They use derogatory terms to demean you, control you, and shut down any constructive communication. The next time someone resorts to name-calling, shut down the conversation. Say, "I'm not going to engage in a conversation where I'm being insulted," or "Name-calling is disrespectful and unproductive. Let's talk about the issue, not each other." Don't stoop to their level. Number 31. Silent treatment. Imagine this. You do something that upsets someone, and instead of communicating with you about it, they simply refuse to talk to you. They ignore your calls, texts, and attempts to engage. They're giving you the silent treatment. They're withholding communication as a form of punishment and control. The next time someone gives you the silent treatment, don't chase after them. Give them space, but make it clear that you're willing to talk when they are ready to communicate respectfully. You can say something like, "I'm here to talk when you're ready to communicate respectfully. Until then, I'll respect your need for space." Don't reward their silence with attention. Number 32. Intermittent reinforcement. Let's say you're in a relationship with someone who is sometimes incredibly loving and affectionate, and other times cold, distant, and even abusive. You never know which version of them you're going to get. That's intermittent reinforcement. They're alternating between positive and negative behavior to create confusion and dependency. This creates a cycle of hope and despair, making you crave their approval and making it harder to leave the relationship. The next time you recognize this pattern, be aware of the manipulation. Inconsistent behavior is a red flag. Healthy relationships are built on consistent respect and kindness, not cycles of abuse and affection. Seeking support from a professional is highly recommended if you are experiencing this kind of manipulation. Number 33. Hoovering. You finally ended a toxic relationship, and then, out of the blue, you get a text. "I miss you. I've changed. I promise things will be different this time." Or maybe they call, crying and begging you to take them back. They might even show up at your door with flowers. They're trying to suck you back into the relationship after the breakup, often with promises of change that they have no intention of keeping. The next time someone tries to hoover you, resist the urge to go back. Remember why you left in the first place. A simple, "I appreciate you reaching out, but I'm not interested in rekindling the relationship," is sufficient. Don't get drawn back into the cycle of manipulation. Number 34. Future faking. So, your partner makes grand promises about the future. "We'll get married, buy a house, have kids," or "I'll get a better job, stop drinking, be a better person." These promises sound wonderful, and they give you hope for a better future together. But they never actually materialize. That's future faking. They're using promises about the future to manipulate you into staying in the relationship, even though they have no intention of fulfilling those promises. The next time someone makes promises they never keep, take it as a red flag. Say, "I appreciate the promises, but I need to see actions, not just words, or I'm not going to stay in a relationship based on empty promises." Don't let them string you along with false hope. Number 35. Conditional love. Your partner tells you, "If you really loved me, you wouldn't question my decisions," or "I'll only be affectionate with you if you behave the way I want you to." That's conditional love. They're withholding affection and approval unless you meet certain conditions. It's a way of controlling your behavior. The next time someone uses conditional love, recognize it as manipulation. Say, "Love shouldn't be conditional. I deserve to be loved for who I am, not for what I do. Or, I'm not going to jump through hoops to earn your affection. Healthy relationships are based on unconditional love and acceptance. Number 36, emotional dependency. So, your partner constantly tells you how much they need you, how they can't live without you, and how you're the only person who understands them. They make you feel like you're responsible for their happiness and well-being. That's emotional dependency. They're fostering a situation where you feel obligated to take care of them, making it harder for you to leave the relationship, even if it's unhealthy. The next time someone tries to make you feel overly responsible for their emotions, set boundaries. Say, I care about you, but I'm not responsible for your happiness. You need to take responsibility for your own emotions, or it's not healthy to rely on one person for all your emotional needs. Healthy relationships are based on interdependence, not codependency. Number 37, jealousy induction. Your partner casually mentions how much their coworker flirts with them, or they talk about how many likes they got on a photo. They might even fabricate stories about other people being interested in them. They're trying to make you jealous. They want to control your behavior by making you feel insecure and possessive. The next time someone tries to induce jealousy, don't take the bait. A calm, that's nice, or okay, is often the best response. You can also directly address the manipulation. Are you trying to make me jealous? Because it's not working. Don't let their attempts to manipulate your emotions control you. Number 38, word salad. You ask someone a simple question, and they respond with a rambling, incoherent mix of words and phrases that don't make any sense. They might use a lot of jargon or technical terms, even if the topic is simple. They're using word salad. They're trying to overwhelm you with confusing language, so you'll give up trying to understand them and just agree with whatever they say. The next time someone uses word salad, don't be afraid to interrupt. Say, I'm not following what you're saying. Can you explain it in simpler terms? Or could you get to the point, please? Don't let them confuse you into submission. Number 39, changing the subject. Let's say you're trying to discuss a serious issue with someone, and every time you bring it up, they change the subject. They might start talking about something completely unrelated, or they might make a joke to deflect the conversation. They're fooling you. They're trying to avoid uncomfortable topics or difficult conversations. The next time someone changes the subject to avoid a discussion, gently but firmly bring it back to the original topic. Say, I know you want to talk about X, but I'd really like to finish discussing Y first. Or, this is an important issue, and I'd appreciate it if we could stay focused on it. Don't let them avoid the conversation. Number 40, moving the goalposts. Let's say you've agreed to do something for someone, and you followed all their instructions and met all their requirements. But then, after you've completed the task, they suddenly change the rules. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also need you to do X, Y, and Z. They're moving the goalposts. They're changing the requirements for success after you've already met the initial criteria, making it impossible for you to ever truly win. The next time someone moves the goalposts, call them out. Say, that wasn't part of our original agreement, or you're changing the rules after I've already completed the task. That's not fair. Don't let them manipulate you into endless effort. Number 41, subtle shaming. You're excited about a new project you're working on, and someone makes a seemingly innocent comment like, oh, that's interesting. Are you sure you're qualified to handle that? Or that's a bold choice. Not everyone can pull that off. These comments are subtle shaming. They're designed to make you feel inadequate and embarrassed, without being overtly critical. The next time someone uses subtle shaming, call them out. Say, that comment makes me feel like you're questioning my abilities, or are you trying to make me feel bad about my choices? Don't let their subtle jabs undermine. Number 42, false humility. So, someone brags about their accomplishments, but then quickly adds, oh, it was nothing really. I just got lucky, or anyone could have done it. They're feigning humility. They're downplaying their achievements to fish for compliments and manipulate others' perceptions. They want you to reassure them of their brilliance and inflate their ego. The next time someone uses false humility, don't overdo the praise. A simple, that's great, is sufficient. Don't play into their game of fishing for compliments. Number 43, token gesture. Imagine this. You've been expressing concerns about a recurring problem to someone, and they finally do something about it, but it's a small, insignificant gesture that doesn't actually address the root of the issue. They might offer a superficial apology or make a small, symbolic change that doesn't really fix anything. That's a token gesture. They're trying to appease you and make you think they're taking your concerns seriously, when they're really just trying to avoid addressing the real problem. The next time someone makes a token gesture, acknowledge it, but don't let them off the hook. Say, I appreciate the gesture, but it doesn't really address the underlying issue. Or, while I appreciate the thought, I'd really like to see some meaningful change. Don't let them brush you off with a symbolic fix. Number 44, emotional hijacking. So, you're trying to have a calm discussion with someone, and suddenly, they burst into tears, start yelling, or have a full-blown meltdown. They're using emotional hijacking. They're using intense emotional outbursts to manipulate you, shut down the conversation, and gain control of the situation. The next time someone tries to hijack your emotions, don't engage with the drama. Say, I can see you're feeling very emotional right now. Let's talk about this when we're both calmer. Or, I'm not going to continue this conversation while you're yelling/crying. Let's revisit this later. Don't let their emotional outbursts control you. Number 45, emotional contagion. Imagine this. Someone is in a bad mood, and they start complaining about everything and everyone, spreading their negativity to those around them. They might even try to make you feel guilty for being happy or optimistic. That's emotional contagion. They're spreading their negative emotions to manipulate others' moods and bring everyone down to their level. The next time someone tries to infect you with their negativity, protect your own emotional state. You can say something like, I understand you're feeling down, but I'm trying to stay positive, or I'm not going to let your negativity affect my mood. Set boundaries and don't let their bad mood become yours. Number 46, cognitive dissonance. Let's say someone tells you two conflicting things, and both things come from a source you trust. For example, they might praise your work ethic while simultaneously criticizing your commitment to your family. This creates cognitive dissonance. They're creating conflicting thoughts or beliefs within you, making you feel confused and uncertain. This confusion makes you more susceptible to their manipulation because you're less likely to trust your own judgment. The next time you experience cognitive dissonance, acknowledge the conflicting information. Say, I'm getting mixed messages here. Can you clarify what you mean? Or, I'm feeling confused by these conflicting statements. Don't let them exploit your confusion. Communication manipulation. Number 47, loaded questions. Imagine this. Someone asks you, so, have you finally stopped being so selfish? Or when are you going to start taking things seriously? These are loaded questions. They're designed to trap you into a defensive position, regardless of your answer. If you say yes, you're admitting to being selfish or unserious in the past. If you say no, you appear to be confirming those negative qualities. The next time someone asks you a loaded question, don't play their game. Challenge the premise of the question. Say, that's a loaded question, or I'm not going to answer a question based on false assumptions. You can also rephrase the question to be more neutral. For example, you could respond to, when are you going to start taking things seriously? With what specifically are you concerned about? Number 48, unspoken expectations. So, you do something that you think is perfectly fine, and someone reacts with disappointment or hurt. When you ask them what's wrong, they say, if you really cared, you would have known. They're making you feel guilty for not meeting expectations that were never communicated. These are unspoken expectations. They expect you to read their mind and then blame you when you fail to do so. The next time someone makes you feel guilty for not meeting unspoken expectations, ask them to communicate their needs directly. Say, I'm not a mind reader. If you have expectations, please communicate them clearly. Or, I'm happy to consider your needs, but I can't do that if I don't know what they are. Don't accept the blame for failing to meet uncommunicated expectations. Number 49, microaggressions. Imagine this. You're at work, and a colleague comments on your accent, or makes a joke about your cultural background. Or maybe someone makes a seemingly harmless comment about your age or gender. These are microaggressions. They're subtle, often unintentional remarks that undermine your confidence and make you feel marginalized. The next time someone uses a microaggression, address it directly, even if it's uncomfortable. Say, that comment feels a bit insensitive, or I'd appreciate it if you didn't make comments about my accent or background. Educate them about the impact of their words. Number 50, subtle shaming. Let's say you're excited about something you've accomplished, and someone responds with a slightly condescending remark like, "That's cute," or "Good for you, honey." Or they might make a subtle facial expression of disapproval. This is subtle shaming. They're making you feel inadequate or embarrassed through subtle comments or actions, often disguised as politeness or concern. The next time someone uses subtle shaming, call them out. Say, "That comment feels a bit condescending," or "Are you trying to make me feel small?" Don't let their subtle jabs undermine your self-esteem. Understanding these manipulation tactics is the first step to protecting yourself. Knowledge is power. By recognizing these behaviors, you can take control of your relationships and build healthier, more fulfilling connections. Don't let manipulators control your life. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of empowered individuals who are taking charge of their lives. Don't hesitate to watch the video on the screen. Thank you.